Wednesday is the brand new Netflix original series that hit the service multiple weeks ago, but I'm finally on the train and ready to talk about this show in non-spoiler fashion. The show is about Wednesday Addams of the Addams Family, played by Jenna Ortega, and due to her being expelled with 8 schools in a 5-year span, her parents, Morticia Addams, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Luis Guzman's Gomez Addams takes Wednesday to their old school that they fell in love at, Nevermore, a school full of outcasts, including vampires, wolves, including her roommate, who's Enid Sinclair, played by Emma Myers. There are sirens, one of them Bianca Baralle, played by Joy Sunday, and she also finds a bit of a relationship with a normie, as they say, Tyler, played by Hunter Doohan, as a monster is on the loose, and Wednesday seems to be at the focal point of either destroying the school or saving the school. Also, Gwendolyn Christie is in the show, as well as Ricky Lanhorn and James McShane. The show is 8 episodes long, with the shortest episode being 45 minutes and the longest episode being the first episode, 57 minutes. So welcome back to a brand new TV show, non-spoiler review here of Wednesday here on Max Talk Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I'll do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, if you have seen Wednesday, tell me, when did you see Wednesday? Did you like the show, not like the show? Do you want a season 2? Just talk about that, non-spoilers, in the comment section. If you have not seen it yet, tell me, what are you waiting for? Have you heard of the buzz? Are you just not a big Addams Family person? You're not a big Tim Burton person who's also behind the show? Let me know in the comment section down below. So as I also just mentioned, Tim Burton is a director credit. He directed 4 of the 8 episodes. He also has a producing credit on the show. So again, from his mind, also Danny Elfman teaming up with him once again, and he also does the score for the show. But this is one I was very late to. Heading in, I wasn't that excited, other than Jenna Ortega, who, if you've been following this channel, you know that we have been talking about her on this channel now for over, closing in on 2 years now, all the way back where I saw her for the first time in a movie in The Babysitter Killer Queen, the sequel to Babysitter on Netflix, and then going from that to The Fallout, which is still one of my favorite movies of the year. Scream, great movie earlier this year. So she's just on a roll, and she's why I wanted to see the show, but I wasn't really sure about continuing the Addams Family in a new generation. And just really, for me, I'm not the biggest Tim Burton fan, especially in the last really 20 years. For me, it's just kind of, Dumbo, The Home for Peculiar Children, Big Eyes, Frankenweenie, Alice in Wonderland. These are just not, and his version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Planet of the Apes. He hasn't made that great thing in such a long time, in my opinion, which also got me, so nervous. So, but I heard, this is currently the 3rd most watched Netflix series of all time, only trailing Squid Game and season 4 of Stranger Things. So the buzz was there, and that got me very excited for that all these people watched it. So while I'm on my break, I finally started watching it, and I finished it in 3 days. And I just want to say up front that my positives and negatives, my score, I love this show from start really to finish. This is a show that I felt was Tim Burton in his prime, this type of direction that he does in the opening couple episodes, but it's really about this lead performance. I also think it's more of an ensemble more than people are giving it credit for. But the people are giving it credit for is this ridiculously special performance from Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. Also, Christina Ricci, who played the original Wednesday in the movies in the 90s. She's also in the show as a professor. I'll talk about her in a second. But Ortega is illegitimately or automatically just iconic as this character the moment you see her, and once you finish the first episode, she just blends into Wednesday so quickly in the show. Yes, you've seen Jenna Ortega in different things, but this is the most unique performance she's given, and I think it's one of the best performances, TV show or movie, really, of the whole year. What obviously helps is that the writers give her a lot of fun lines to kind of do one-liners on. Obviously, Wednesday is a very dark character who thinks of the world pretty bleak, and she's kind of this on and on relationship with her mom, who's played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. She has this roommate who's a werewolf, but she's very colorful and really the total opposite of Wednesday Addams. And Wednesday, one of the crucial things about this show is that it's not just a Wednesday show. It is a Wednesday show because of the relationships that she builds with multiple characters throughout the entire film. Obviously, her roommate, who had a blast with Emma Myers playing Enid Sinclair, who is a werewolf who hasn't wolfed out yet before. And there's a lot of, let's just say, real life connectiveness to a very fantasy element of the show. There's an episode with Enid with her parents that kind of connects in a very harsh reality to what society we're in, with the way people talk about gay conversion camps and things like that. I thought it was a very fascinating way to add that into the show without being in your face. Her relationship with Xavier, played by Percy Hines White, is also really crucial to the story, because this shockingly really is a murder mystery show, with Wednesday being the lead investigator. She kind of gets to the school because she's different, and you'll understand what power she has when you watch the show. But she is kind of the destiny of this picture that's left there, and she's either going to be the savior of this school or the destroyer of the school. And there's this monster that you learn to uncover what it is throughout the show, and who are the villain or villains, and that it kind of becomes a murder mystery of a guessing game of who are the ultimate villains of the show. And having Wednesday as your lead protagonist is unique because she has her only power is that she has these memories. She'll touch someone. It's very similar to like Bruce Willis's powers in Unbreakable, but he'll touch someone and she sees everything that kind of happens to this person in the future, whatever it is. And that could also make her an unreliable narrator, as these visions, even that Morticia even tells her that these visions could be false. And this is our lead investigator. So it kind of keeps the show on its toes. That is all of her visions true? Are they false? Are they putting her in the right direction? That part of it is really good. Xavier, too, is a huge character because he seems pretty obvious that he's somewhat involved, and she has a good dynamic with him, as well as Tyler, who's just this normie who's outside of the school, who's the son of the sheriff, and he kind of looks out for Wednesday throughout the entire show, and their dynamic is really interesting. Also, for the adult performances, they're also fantastic in the show. Gwendolyn Christie, who's from Game of Thrones and Star Wars, she plays the principal of this school. She's a shapeshifter, and she's also tons of fun because casting-wise, she easily can play this villain and this jerk, but you also are kind of contemplating, could she be involved, or is she just protecting the students at the school? And every time you get this Jen Ortega and Gwendolyn Christie mano y mano scenes, they are tons of fun. Also, the scenes with Wednesday and her therapist. She has a therapist that she's legally supposed to go to, played by Ricky Lanhorn, which is also, again, tons of fun for Wednesday to pull up some great lines into the mix. And the 1990s Wednesday Addams, Christina Ricci plays a Professor Thornhill, who's with plants, and she was one of my favorite parts of the show. Obviously, even if you don't have a connection to her being Wednesday Addams, I think she's a great ad. But even if you watch those 90 films and have a little bit of nostalgia for those two Addams Family films, she is still seen as the Wednesday. And when you get scenes with Christina Ricci and Jenna Ortega, it seems like a passing of the baton of Jenna Ortega is totally Wednesday. I do believe this deserves to be one of the better performances of the year, but Ricci also delivers a really solid performance as well. And the whole Addams Family itself is also tons of fun, with Luis Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia and Gomez. I do want to hesitate for people who have not heard of the show that this is not an Addams Family show. They are guest appearances on a couple of the episodes. Really, episode 5, they're kind of mainly in that episode due to it being Parents' Weekend at the school. But it is not an Addams Family show. Thing is with Wednesday for the entire show, so there's an element there. Uncle Fester comes in episode 7, played by Fred Armisen. But it's not an Addams Family show, which I think makes this unique, because it doesn't need to, obviously it fits into the Addams Family world, but it's a Wednesday focused show. It actually made it a lot more enjoyable for me. As I said, the actual mystery, You could see some of it coming, but I like the idea of this mystery. The world building was really great, and the show definitely sets itself up for some major things coming up if they get to officially renewed, as it should be in season 2. I guess a couple of my nitpicks, as I said, the villain reveals aren't as mind-blowing. I can't really explain that in non-spoiler fashion why, but you'll understand what I mean when we get there. I did feel like with episode 5 with the parents, they added a lot of things going on. And for me, it felt a lot of setup for season 2 that actually fit in this season, especially with Bianca's character played by Joy Sunday, who was awesome in the show, where they add in a whole new element to her character near the ending of the show, and then they kind of forget about it in the last 2 episodes. And I think they're trying to set her up what she's going to do before season 2 comes out. But I do want to see Bianca, if they pick up this story, I want to see what the storyline is moving forward in the show. But overall, this is one of my favorite shows of the year so far. I know it's hard to say, the critic ratings aren't out of the blue, but I really did enjoy myself from start to finish. I love dark comedy, the horror vibes of the show. I was laughing. They're great characters, great world building for the show, and it gives one of the best performances, one of the most iconic performances you'll see on TV all year long with Jenna Ortega. So I'm going to give Wednesday 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 92% for Wednesday, one of the best shows of the year, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on the show. Please subscribe, comment, do all of those things, like the video. More videos are coming. Yesterday, I did a review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Tomorrow, I'll do a review of the Shrek franchise, including Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Other reviews are coming soon, so please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys soon.